They are famous and well-known Hollywood actors and show business stars. They're admired, envied. Their personal lives are followed by millions. However, only a few of them can have strong relationships. Today in Biographer Express, we'll talk about such lucky people and reveal their secrets of family happiness. Get comfortable, and let's get started. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson's relationship spans 4 decades, and they've spent the past 35 years supporting each other through tough times, celebrating each other's accomplishments, and being there for each other's significant moments. They first met on the set of the ABC sitcom Bosom Buddies in 1981, where Hanks starred for 2 seasons. Although Wilson only appeared in 1 episode and Hanks was married to his college sweetheart Samantha Lewis at the time, the two struck up an immediate camaraderie. The actress liked Tom's sense of humor and his ability to tell interesting stories, but then the relationship did not go beyond friendship. However, 4 years later, Hanks and Wilson met again on the set, this time for their first film together, Volunteers, in 1985. In the movie, they played lovers, and there was an instant chemistry between the actors. Rita and I just looked at each other and kaboing, that was that, Tom said. I asked Rita if it was the real thing for her, and it just couldn't be denied. Already the following year, the actors began to be seeing each other. Although Hanks and Lewis did not officially separate until 1987, the couple's relationship ended a few months before Tom began dating Rita. The couple got married in April 1988. The success of our relationship was a matter of timing, maturity, and our willingness to have an intimate connection. Tom immediately understood that marriage was, first of all, a compromise and not magic as it was shown in rom-coms. The actor added that their marital relationship was real, and despite all the troubles, they understood that they would survive anything if they stayed together. 2 years after their marriage, Hanks and Wilson had their first child, a boy named Chet Hanks. Family affairs did not prevent the couple from appearing together in the melodrama Sleepless in Seattle, where this time they played brother and sister. Their second son, Truman Theodore Hanks, was born in 1995. Hanks and Wilson have produced films together, supported each other's endeavors, and shared the joys of winning at award ceremonies. When the actress was asked what for her was a sign that their love would be eternal, she said that once, standing at an intersection and waiting for a green light, Hanks looked into the eyes of his beloved and said, "You know, I just want you to know that you never have to change anything about who you are in order to be with me." Then she realized that it would last forever. In 2015, Wilson was diagnosed with breast cancer. The woman had to go through a double mastectomy, and all this time, her Tom was there and supported his wife. "I was so amazed, so blown away by the care my husband gave me," Rita said later. "Who knew it would make you even closer?" This year, the couple celebrated their 35th wedding anniversary and shared a photo with a cake and the inscription, quote, "Love is everything." Looking at these two, you can conclude that love is really the most important thing for strong family relationships. These two got married back in 1997 and are raising 3 children together. When asked the secret to their strong relationship, Broderick said, "I don't know the secret at all, but I'm very grateful and I love her. It's amazing. I mean, I can't believe that it's been that long. It doesn't feel like it." Although both actors were already working in Hollywood in the late 90s, Broderick met Parker through her brothers Pippin and Toby. They founded the theater company Naked Angels in New York and introduced the future couple after Broderick produced a play there. Broderick asked Sarah out by leaving a sweet voicemail on her answering machine. Matthew admitted that from the first look at her, he knew that she was the one. Their second kiss was memorable for both of them. They were going to the subway. Sarah had a Ricola in her mouth, which she spat into her expensive glove. Parker later joked that the ruined glove was an investment in her family's happiness. Sometime later, the couple appeared together on Broadway in the musical How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. Since then, Parker has been in awe of Matthew, calling him the funniest and most handsome man she's ever met. Less than a year after their Broadway debut and several years into their relationship, Parker and Broderick got married. The couple exchanged vows in a New York synagogue. They invited about 100 family members and friends to the wedding, telling everyone it was just a party. Parker said, "I do" in a black dress instead of a traditional white gown. Later, the actress regretted her choice of outfit and the celebration itself, and noted that if she could turn back time, she would have married in a cream dress and would not have made her marriage a secret. In 2002, the couple had their first child, James Wilkie, who was named after Broderick's late grandfather. The couple's always tried to keep their son out of the public eye as much as possible, and continues to do so, aside from the occasional family appearance on the red carpet. After some time, the couple wanted to become parents again, but they had problems with fertility. They had to turn to a surrogate for help. The woman became pregnant, and at first, everything was good, but very quickly her life turned into a real hell because her identity was revealed in the press. After that, her phone and personal computer were hacked. She was threatened and harassed. And once, a policeman got into a woman's house and tried to steal ultrasound photos to sell them to the paparazzi. For this, he was dismissed from his post and sentenced to 32 months in prison. Despite all the difficulties, the surrogate mother managed to carry and give birth to twins. The older brother, James, was allowed to name one of his sisters, and he gave her the name Marion. The second, the happy parents named Tabitha. In 2011, Sarah Jessica admitted in an interview with The Telegraph that her marriage with Broderick was not ideal. Matthew once credited with an affair with a 25-year-old youth counselor while his wife starred in the popular TV series Sex and the City. However, all these accusations turned out to be just rumors, and Parker never tired of supporting her lover in any situation. This year, the couple celebrated their 26th wedding anniversary. They found themselves on the same stage again on Broadway in the play Plaza Suite, and their love seems to grow stronger every year. For 31 years of relationship, which is the time these stars have been together, they've tried to spend every day together and not be separated for a long time. Sarah Jessica calls the ability to hate each other 20 minutes a day one of the secrets of a successful marriage. Later, this practice turned into 20 minutes a week, then a month. Now the star admits that she and Matthew have no reason to hate each other. Broderick says that the secret of a strong relationship is friendship between loved ones and constant communication, no matter how trite it sounds. We really are friends, beyond everything else, and we talk a lot, the actor admits. The love story of Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban is one of the cutest in Hollywood. The actress and the country musician were both born in Australia, but met as adults on the other side of the world. The celebrities met at the G'day USA Gala in Los Angeles. They exchanged numbers, but Urban didn't call Kidman for 4 months. Later, he admitted that he was simply afraid that they would have nothing to talk about, and he could not believe that such a woman could find something in him. Nicole, for her part, thought that the musician just didn't like her. When Keith finally dared to dial her number, he was surprised at how easily the conversation flowed and how much they had in common. The couple started dating, and both quickly realized that it was serious. On Kidman's 38th birthday, Keith came to her home at 5 a.m. with a bouquet of gardenias. That is when I went, "This is the man I hope I get to marry," Nicole said later. "I believed by that point he was the love of my life." The public learned about the engagement of the star couple by accident when at the 30th anniversary gala for the United Nations Development Fund for Women hosted by Kidman, she was interviewed and asked about her boyfriend who accompanied her that evening. Nicole replied, "He's actually my fiancé. I wouldn't be bringing my boyfriend." At the end of June 2006, the couple got married. The candlelight wedding ceremony was held at St. Patrick's Estate in the coastal suburb of Manly in Sydney. Kidman's children, Isabella Jane and Connor Anthony from ex-husband Tom Cruz, were also present at the wedding. According to eyewitnesses, the ceremony was fabulous, and Urban even serenaded his bride, singing his own song, Making Memories of Us. Each guest went home with a silver Tiffany clock, and the newlyweds, after spending their wedding night in Sydney, went on a honeymoon to French Polynesia. 4 months after their wedding, Urban was found to be suffering from alcohol addiction. Kidman gave her lover an ultimatum. He must be treated, or she will leave him. Keith, without much hesitation, turned to the rehabilitation center, where he spent 3 months. After getting rid of his addiction, the singer returned to his family. Soon, Kidman and Urban bought a farm southwest of Nashville and built a family nest there. In July 2008, they became parents of a daughter, Sunday Rose. Nicole later revealed that her husband was very attentive during her pregnancy and even flew to Australia to see her first ultrasound. He was there for 6 hours, saw the heartbeat, and then had to fly back to LA to do a show. She said, but their second daughter, Faith Margaret, was born from a surrogate mother 2 years later, and the couple decided to keep the pregnancy a secret. Urban tried to support his wife and children in everything. When Nicole's father died in 2014, her husband was by her side and even performed the song Amazing Grace at the funeral. When the actress is asked how she and her husband have such a strong and romantic relationship, she admits that she burned her personal diaries, which were not intended for prying eyes, and she also advised all married couples to always kiss when meeting and saying goodbye. "It just keeps you connected," she adds. Later, Kidman shared another secret of the couple's enduring love. "I think it's knowing that you have to keep contributing to what we call the us. When you make an us, it's yours together. That's what you create. As long as we don't forget, if you want the second part about star couples, write in the comments and we will definitely make it. And don't forget to like this video. It motivates us incredibly to create quality and interesting content for you. And this couple can be called the most closed of our selection because they draw a clear line between a quiet family life and the publicity of their profession. Penélope Cruz and Javier Bardem met while filming Hawn in 1992, but they didn't start dating until many years later. Later, Javier joked that this movie was like a documentary of their love, which they would show their children when they asked questions about the beginning of their relationship. The real chemistry between the actors appeared only after a full 15 years, when they met again on the set of Woody Allen's romantic drama, Vicky Cristina Barcelona. Bardem immediately felt that he was falling in love with his colleague, but neither of them showed feelings and they were both afraid to take the first step. It got to the point that even on the last day of filming, they never spoke. However, luckily for the couple-to-be, one of their friends decided to throw a party to mark the end of filming. Well, the rest is history, says Javier, adding, "Thank God." Later, the actor will also say that Penelope has the same fiery spirit as her character in the film Maria Elena. She has what I call the loving blood, passion for everything. That's what I find attractive. There's beauty and there's being sexy. Penelope has both. Rumors about the relationship between Cruz and Bardem began to appear in the fall of 2007. However, the couple did not confirm anything and did not appear in public together. From time to time, the paparazzi caught the lovers on camera, sometimes on the beach in the Maldives, then on a walk in Los Angeles, then at a Lakers game. The actors made their first appearance as a couple only in 2010, although at that time they'd already been in a relationship for more than 3 years and even had time to get engaged. And already in July of the same year, the lovers finally got married, holding a small private wedding in the Bahamas at a friend's house. Soon, the couple settled in the suburbs of Madrid in their native Spain. In January 2011, the couple had a son, Leo. When Penelope received her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame that same year, she thanked her husband and son for, quote, making her happy every day. Another 2 years later, the couple had a daughter, Luna Encinas. Star parents protect both children from publicity and do not even talk about them in interviews. Although in one of them, Cruz still admitted that, quote, being a mother is seeing life from a different point of view, as if you were a child again. Even your relationship with nature changes. It's like you can see a tree through new eyes. Even as parents and taking family values seriously, the couple likes to do something extraordinary from time to time. So they danced together on stage during Prince's performance and also attended a U2 concert where Bardem in a blue boa and Cruz in a Playboy wig and bunny ears put on a whole show with Bono, the band's lead singer. Despite this, the star couple rarely shares what happens behind the closed door and protects their privacy. In addition, the couple still managed to film together. In 2012, they starred in the film The Counselor, but this time there was no romantic relationship between their characters. Together, the actors starred in 2 more crime dramas, Loving Pablo and Everybody Knows. In both films, the actors play complex relationships, so it's not surprising that the couple began to be asked whether their on-screen characters affect their personal lives. Cruz admitted that in some scenes, in particular in Loving Pablo, were difficult psychologically, but she and her husband separate work and real relationships. We always separate. I don't take the characters home, the actress noted. Javier also supports this position of his wife, adding, the important thing is to know that there's a division, clear division, between fiction and reality. There is nothing there that has anything to do with who we are as real people. In 2022, the actors joined an elite list of only 6 married couples who were jointly nominated for an Academy Award in the same year. Cruz for his role in Parallel Mothers, and Bardem for being the Ricardos. And although neither of them received the desired statuette that evening, it was already an important victory for both of them. We see that the recipe for the success of this star couple is quite simple: respect, the ability to rejoice in each other's successes, and distinguish between public and private. Hugh Jackman and Deborra-Lee Furness were married for 27 years before they decided to separate on September 15, 2023. The Australian actors met in 1995 on the set of the Australian television series Corelli. They met in the car when Hugh and Deborah were being driven to the set. The actress greeted her colleague and only one thought flashed through Hugh's mind: I like this girl. Within 2 weeks of meeting her, Hugh knew that Deb was the one. "I knew 2 weeks into meeting Deb that we were going to be together for the rest of our lives," he admitted. However, the actor dared to talk about his feelings only a month after meeting. He invited friends and colleagues to dinner. Among them was Furness. In the middle of the dinner, Mick Jagger called and invited the actress to the party, and his limousine was already standing outside the windows of Jackman's apartment. And Deb, to his surprise, refused to leave. And at the expense of Jagger's refusal, Deb later joked, "I don't even like rock and roll, so it wasn't a hard pass." Although the couple plunged headlong into a romantic relationship, Furness soon had doubts about their feasibility because she promised herself not to meet with actors even younger than her. The age difference between the lovers was quite significant, 13 years. But Jackman convinced the woman that he was worthy of her love, and 4 months after the first date, he declared his love. The actor chose the engagement ring himself, but he did not know the preferences of his chosen one, so for 3 hours he told the jeweler everything he knew about her so that he would help him with this important choice. Already 11 months after meeting, the actress became Jackman's wife. On their wedding rings, which they exchanged in Melbourne on April 11, 1996, there's an inscription in Sanskrit that means, "We dedicate our union to a greater source." The bride's outfit was not traditional, because instead of a dress, she wore satin pants and a veil of extended train. Since Deb was already 40 years old at the time of marriage, the newlyweds immediately wanted to have children. However, after countless attempts and several miscarriages, the couple decided to go for adoption. In 2000, the couple had a boy named Oscar Maximilian. In 2005, the star couple became parents for the second time, adopting a girl named Ava Elliott. "I don't think of them as adopted. They're our children." Hugh shared his impressions of parenthood. The actor did not forget about his wife, and from time to time surprised her with little things. One of these was an impromptu serenade at the Four Seasons where Jackman sang "The Way You Look Tonight" to the crowd, which greatly touched Deb. "It was a complete surprise. He's full of them. And in that setting, it was very moving for me, so I shed a little tear," the actress admitted. And for their 20th wedding anniversary, the couple arranged a second honeymoon in the Caribbean. Despite all the troubles, ups and downs, even Jackman's illness, skin cancer, the couple steadfastly held together. They raised children, found time for romance, and rejoiced at each other's successes. However, after 27 years, fans of the star couple learned from their idols that they decided to divorce. Whatever happens, we want to believe that these two will change their minds and get together again, to continue to delight us with cute joint photos on social networks, and to give hope that love can be eternal and family strong. Even the biggest skeptics never tire of being surprised by this star couple. Their love lasted for decades, overcoming obstacles such as a 25-year age difference, illness, and a brief break in their relationship. They were introduced by mutual friends Antonio Banderas and Melanie Griffith at the Deauville Film Festival in France back in 1998. When Michael sat down with a young beauty in a bar, they had a nice chat, and he invited her home for a cup of coffee. And she initially agreed, but when he said, "You know, I'm going to be the father of your children," Zeta-Jones replied that she had heard and seen a lot about him and asked to take her home. A second chance fell to Douglas later when he learned that Catherine was going to star in a film in Scotland. When the actress arrived for filming, roses and a card were already waiting for her. Already in 1999, the actor proposed to his beloved on New Year's Eve at his home in Aspen, Colorado. Almost immediately after the engagement, it became known that Catherine was pregnant, and on August 8, 2000 in Los Angeles, the couple had their first child, son Dylan Douglas. 3 months after giving birth, the star couple got married at the Plaza Hotel in New York. Their wedding was considered the event of the year, with the entire Hollywood beau monde invited. 3 years later, on Easter Sunday, the couple had a second child, a girl, Karis Zeta-Douglas. The family ideal did not prevent the actors from building their own careers and growing professionally. However, a happy life was overshadowed by sad news. In 2010, Michael was diagnosed with throat cancer. It became a real test for both. The hardest part is seeing his fatigue, because Michael is never tired. The star shared, "If there's anything Michael has, it's strength." Fortunately, in January 2011, Douglas announced that the disease was in remission. The couple then took their 2 children on a Thanksgiving trip to Disney World to celebrate the joyous occasion. However, the difficult period in their lives did not end there. After all, after constant stress related to her husband's illness, Catherine was diagnosed with bipolar II disorder, and the actress decided to be treated in a psychiatric institution. In a year, she felt much better, but the experience shook the strong star family, and in 2013, the couple took a break from their relationship. 1 year was enough for them to understand that their breakup was a mistake, and the couple got together again. I think every couple has their difficult times, Douglas commented on the whole situation. "The only problem is, as you well know, we're all in the public eye and it tends to get a little more exposed than most. We're back stronger than ever." Interestingly, Michael and Catherine celebrate their birthdays on the same day, September 25th, so the couple often blow out the candles on the cake together. Their children are already adults and therefore do not live with their parents, and the star couple now has time to rekindle their romance and work on their relationship. True love takes work, Douglas once said, and we completely agree with him. And before we move on to the last hot Hollywood couple, we want to ask you to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell so you don't miss new videos on our channel. Done? Then let's continue. Although they were never married, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell are one of Hollywood's oldest couples, having been together for over 40 years. The actors first met on the set of the 1968 Disney musical, The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band. But it was another 15 years before their romance began. Despite the nearly 6-year age difference and the fact that they were both determined not to date other actors, Kurt made a strong first impression on Hawn. She was 21 at the time and he was 16, and she thought he was charming but too young. They met again only 17 years later at Russell's audition for the film Swing Shift. Goldie came to read the script with him and the actor had a hangover and was not in control of his emotions. He immediately liked Hawn. She had a great body, and so the first thing that came out was, "Man, you got a great figure," Russell later recalled. And it kind of came out quickly and it could have been wrong, and she said, "Why, thank you." Their first date was during swing dancing at the Playboy Club in Los Angeles. After dancing, the couple decided that it was not time to call it a night and went to Hawn's house, which she was renovating at the time. They did not have a key and had to break into the house illegally. When their passion flared up, a policeman came to the house. They had to continue the evening at the hotel. After such an unforgettable date, the couple could not help but continue their relationship. They fell in love on set, but Hawn only really opened up to her partner after he befriended her children from her previous marriage to Bill Hudson. After 3 years of relationship, the couple had their first child together, son Wyatt Russell. Wyatt joined the couple's blended family, which included Hawn's children Oliver and Kate, as well as Russell's son Boston from the actor's previous marriage to Susan Hubley. A year after the birth of a child together, the star parents appeared together on the big screen in the romantic comedy Overboard. Despite the family ideal, the couple did not rush to the altar. In 1989, at the Academy Awards, they even tricked the audience by bringing up the topic of weddings. However, to the disappointment of their colleagues and the audience, no one ever proposed. In 2017, Hawn and Russell received their stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and the ceremony turned out to be more emotional than the actress expected. "It turned out to be a love fest," she said. Kurt confessed his feelings to his beloved and said that he will always cherish her. When asked what makes the couple's relationship so strong, Hawn answered, "Love, gratitude, compassion, because sometimes every man or woman will drive their partner crazy. Family, fun, laughs, sex. If you don't nurture that, and remember, you're done." Why then, in 40 years, the couples never got married? The actors explained this with their first unsuccessful marriages, and that's why they do not consider the exchange of vows necessary in their case. "No, we never got married, but one thing that continues to grow is our love," Hawn wrote on her Instagram. As for the secret of their long-lasting romance, Goldie once jokingly replied that it was separate bathrooms. And that's all for today. If you want to learn more about another, no less star couple, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, which, however, did not stand the test of time, click on the video that appeared on your screen. There you'll learn how their love was born and what is the reason for their toxic divorce. And before that, don't forget to like this video. You were watching Biographer Express. See you very soon.